This is the most important video that I've ever made, and this is going to be the most important video that you watch for your e-commerce brand. If you care about converting more off of your ads without having to increase any ad spend, and also how to waste less of your ad spend by using a proper and effective email welcome flow. Now, every brand out there probably has an email welcome flow, but most of them are doing it wrong. They're using outdated strategies, and they're not using what's actually working right now in 2025 and 2026. So in this video, I'm giving you the exact strategy that I've used for over 150 7 to 9 figure e-commerce brands, and that has generated over $20 million in sales. So let's get into it. So really what I'm trying to do here is create an acquisition moat, something that's going to differentiate you from the competition and allow you to spend more on your ads while knowing that you're going to be retaining a lot more profit. So this is exactly what we are going over. So why is this important right now? So e-commerce has changed and most brands just haven't kept up with everything that's changed over the past few years in e-com. Post-COVID, it's a completely different landscape. Ad costs right now are higher than ever. Customers are getting harder and harder to convert, and there are thousands of new competitors launching every single week. With customers being harder to convert because they have less money due to inflation, not having stimulus checks like in 2020, you're spending a lot more to get people to your website, but they're not buying and they're bouncing. And so if you don't have a system for capturing, nurturing, and converting that attention that you just paid for immediately, you are burning cash. The customers are just gonna leave and never come back. Probably go with a competitor. The brands that are going to win in 2026 do not just have great products. They have great systems that build trust fast to get people to convert right when they show attention or click on one of your ads. This all starts with your email pop-up and your email welcome flow. If you dial that in and create that profitable funnel that predictably gets website viewers to convert within 7 days, then you're gonna have a profitable machine that you can just spend more ads on. So that is what we're talking about. My name is Max, founder of Wellcopy. We've done over $100 million in e-commerce sales. So the state of 2026 e-com, I wanna go in a little bit more depth because what has changed over time? We need to understand kind of the landscape and what's different. So we have tariffs increasing with like US and China, which is gonna be eating into our e-com margins. We have inflation, which is eating the disposable income for the customer. AI is just making it so easy to copy products and copy stores. Someone can type in your website and have AI recreate it. They can change the branding a little bit and they've just copied your store because there are over 1,000 new Shopify stores every single day, which is crazy. So this is like the timeline of kind of like what happened and also why your product alone isn't enough anymore. So 2020 e-com was really easy. Stimulus checks and easy sales. People just had cash and it was easy to just throw up some ads and people would buy. And then following 2021 iOS 14 hits, 2022 Facebook ROAS tanks. We saw a lot of brands fall off after this bull rush in 2020 and 2021, and only the brands with strong retention survived. And in 2024, we saw a lot of brands whose cost per acquisition tripled, which really made your lifetime value your lifeline. Paid ads up 300% from prior levels. The only brands that could survive were ones that knew they were going to make a lot more money on the back end. And then in 2026, what we have is the product is just not enough. You need to have a brand. That is your only moat. Copycats cannot replicate your brand and your story. The brands with the deep loyalty are the ones that are going to be able to survive. That is what we really want to focus on. We have the cost per acquisition problem. With all these brands showing up, there is so much more competition. Everybody's fighting for the same ad spots, increasing the auction, making ads cost a lot more. So we're paying a lot more on ads, but at the same time, conversion rates are down as customers are just visiting your website to check things out and then leaving to check out one of your competitors. So even when they click your expensive ad, they're not converting. Now we have the CAC problem, and how can we fix this? This wasn't necessary before, but it is 100% necessary if you're an e-com brand spending money on ads right now, because you can't lower the ad costs. That's out of our control. What we can do is make every single click that we get worth more. And that is with a dialed pop-up form, which is going to turn your paid traffic into owned traffic so that you don't have to send expensive ads anymore. You can send them emails for a fraction of a penny. And this powerful welcome flow is going to turn the website viewers who were just curious into actual conversions, because email is the cheapest, highest leverage way to stretch your ad dollars. Instead of paying $50 to maybe get a sale on your ads, you can pay $50, still get those people who are going to buy anyways, but you can get more people to get their email, build trust, and convert them now or down the line without having to pay again on getting them back through ads. That is how you beat your rising cost per acquisition. If you own the attention, you can nurture the trust and capture the sale. So if you don't nail this, what's going to happen is you are going to miss your trust window. So right when a customer clicks on one of your ads or a customer goes to your website for the first time, that is the warmest they are ever going to be. If you just let them go to the website and then leave and you don't have anything to show for it, you don't have an email or phone number to get them back, they're just going to leave and never come back, and you lose that and you abandon everything. And all future purchases are lost forever. Instead, we need this pop-up and welcome flow. So we can have have kind of like this without, where you go $50 ad spend, you get some clicks, people bounce, you don't have that email, that person's lost. At least with a pop-up in Welcome Flow that's dialed, you get $50 with your ad spend, you get clicks, and even if they don't buy, at least you get the email captured, and then you can send them your dialed welcome series, which we're gonna go over in this video, and then you can either get that sale today, or you can also get it later because you have their email, and you can send them emails for fractions of pennies, decreasing your cost per acquisition and then increasing your LTV. Same ad spend, but completely different outcome just by having this system dialed. So this is how we are going to create our moat and increase our sales with our acquisition funnel. Your product alone is not enough. You need more systems. You need to find ways to stand out from the thousands of others in your niche. And the way you stand out is with your content, your story, and more importantly, how you deliver that, because your frame is everything. If you come in with a slap together generic approach, that's how you're going to be perceived, just like everybody else and the copycats who are out there copying your store. You only get one chance to make a first impression and create that frame in the customer's mind. Your email welcome flow and what you're putting in there is your chance to nail that first impression. If you're not dialed in, you're going to lose them. If you are dialed in, then you've created a moat that the other brands can't replicate. We can see here for this brand, as they increased their ad spend, what we have is the welcome flow right here. They ramped up their ad spend, their ad traffic. We have a pop-up form that's converting 15% of their website visitors into email subscribers, and we're getting $56,000 on this month right here. You can see that is extra revenue off of their acquisition funnel. This is how it's done. And you can have email systems that generate 38% of your total revenue just from the email channel. So now let's actually get into the winning welcome flow strategy. How do you create this moat, and how do you make sure that people buy? Important to note, however, your welcome flow isn't going to generate any money if nobody's going into your welcome flow. So you really need an absolutely dialed email pop-up form. This is why you see top brands testing new pop-up forms every single week. Because if you can increase your form by even 2%, that means more people into the email list that you can convert. This video is about the email welcome flow, but this YouTube video of mine right here, smart e-commerce brands are doing this in 2025, goes over everything that you need to do to create high converting pop-up forms that are going to get as many email addresses from your website traffic as possible, so that we can then run them into this system and winning welcome flow strategy that I'm going to show you. So make sure you check that out because that's very, very important. So the winning welcome flow strategy. There are a few non-negotiables that we need in our email welcome flow. Every welcome flow should be a little bit different. You can't just copy someone else's. It needs to be a little bit different, and it's going to depend on your brand, your selling points, and how you want to be different from your competitors. But there are a few high leverage things that we need to make sure our welcome flow includes. First off, we need to turn off double opt-in in our email lists. What this means is when somebody signs up to your email list, if you have double opt-in on, it's going to send an email being like, hey, click this link to confirm your subscription. You get a ton of fall off right there from potential subscribers, so we want to turn that off. And so with your list inside of Klaviyo, if that's where it's at, you just want to go here, click onto your list. You want to go to settings, and then you want to go to consent, and then you want to turn off double opt-in right here and just make it single opt-in. So right when the person enters their email address, they're just going to be sent your first welcome email. Super, super important that you have that. The next, on top of that, that first email needs to fire immediately upon the person signing up. There should not be any time delay. Send it immediately. When a person signs up, they're only going to wait maybe 30 seconds to get that first email, to get their discount code, or to learn about the brand. That has to send immediately. And then that single email is not enough. We need to have at least 3 emails. People need time to convert. They need multiple touch points. They need more education to buy. So we need to have at least 3 emails. I prefer kind of like around the 5 to 6 email mark. We want to make sure our emails are 1 to 2 days apart as well. We only have the customer's attention for so long before they might go to a competitor. We need to make sure we're hitting them every single day with reminders of who we are. Because again, this is the warmest they're ever going to be. And also in these emails, we need a reminder of the welcome discount every single time. A big mistake is I see a lot of brands sending educational story-based emails, which are great. They just look like every single other email. And the customer needs to be reminded of the discount, which is going to remind them of the urgency, because the discount can only last so long. Also, a non-negotiable that I always like to include is a text-based email. These are going to be personal emails that look like they're coming from a friend. In 2025 and 2026, when there are so many corporations and brands out there, people are dying for that personal connection. We want to give them that personal feel. With these text-based emails, these convert like crazy. And I'll walk you through some examples. And then of course, we want to have a last chance discount email. We need to have urgency on the discount, give somebody a last chance, or they're just going to keep putting it off and then they're not going to buy. So always have a last chance email as well. So this is everything that we need to be doing. And no matter the welcome flow, if you have all of these in place, I'm not going to be upset. These are set, you're good. So now let's go into actually creating our strategy, because like I said, every single one is going to be different because every brand is different. Some welcome flows, we're cool with 3 to 4 emails in there. Others, we should be at 6 to 8. We just need to look at the brand and think of what the customer may be thinking and what do we need to get them over the edge. If you're an impulse purchase sort of product, kind of like a gimmick that's like $20, then you probably don't need many emails. You just need to drill them with a bunch of direct response. If you're a $2,000 like gaming chair, for example, this is a big decision for the customer and you probably need to educate them a ton on your product. So you might need to go with the longer welcome flow. So we need to ask, what is important to the customer? What are their objections? And is buying our product that impulse purchase or a decision that takes time to decide? And we need to play into that. So make sure as you're building out this strategy with the guidelines that I'm giving you, that you are considering these things. So this is the welcome flow template and the winning strategy that I like to push people towards. Email 1, we want it to be the same every single time, pretty much for every brand in terms of layout. We just want to welcome them to the brand and deliver our incentive. Super simple. Just some brand background. You don't need to go too crazy here, but I'll give you the template because there are a couple things that we need to make sure we have in this email. And then what we want to do is we want to do 1 to 5 filler emails, which I'm going to give you a ton of different options for. And these filler emails are all about brand education. So it's just relevant information, overcoming objections, giving social proof, getting people to trust the brand, while also reminding of the discount every single time in one of them. Being like, hey, we know you're new, use this discount. Then after those filler emails, we want to go with our last chance discount email to get some urgency on the product. Heavy urgency, let somebody know that their discount is disappearing. And then I always like to end this as well with a text-based support email, something that looks like it's coming from a friend. Reach out from the founder of the support team, offer support. Hey, I noticed you signed up, but you didn't use your welcome discount. We're here to answer any questions. Reply to this email if you have any questions. By the way, I extended your discount code for 24 more hours. Something like this absolutely crushes, and it gives us that personal feel, which we love. So now let's go into actually like these emails step by step, starting off with welcome email number 1. So welcome email number 1, the purpose and the content is we need to deliver a strong intro on our brand in the briefest way possible while giving them what they want. I see a lot of brands going way too overboard with this, with these massive emails, when in reality, people just want their discount code and maybe just like a brief intro on the brand. We'll do the education later. Let's just give them their discount. So maybe just give a quick summary before they continue shopping. So we want the design to be as simple, clean, and easy to follow as possible. We have to understand that the modern customer is a zombie. They're doom scrolling, their attention spans are fried, so we need to make sure our emails play into that. And the goal is to simply get people to click and browse onto the site. As far as the email template, we want a hero section with a discount code, a button, and then maybe a brief intro. This is a perfect example right here where we can see welcome to the fam, a brief intro, place to connect, learn, and explore conscious cannabis without judgment. So a brief intro right there. And then the discount code right up at the top, and then a button right up at the top of the email so the customer doesn't need to scroll. We can see in all these examples, there's a button way up here, right when the customer opens their email, they can click. So that's super important. Make sure you have this button up at the top and you have the discount. If you had the button, but the discount was way up here, some people are going to be like, where's my discount code? And they're going to leave. So make sure you have this in place. Then we want a bridge section with a brand summary. So something like this, and this are going to be perfect. And in this case, they just did icons. This is a GIF that like rolls through. If you want to be super brief, then of course you can do that. And then we want a product section listing some of the products or some of the categories. So you can see some customer favorites right here. You can see some categories right here, and you can see some categories right here. This is perfect. This is the winning welcome flow email number 1. Just make sure you nail this hero section. Make sure it's branded, and don't get too carried away with the bridge section. You can see right here, because everyone deserves a seat at the table. This is a great example because it calls out the ideal customer right here within the body. It says they're targeting women, people of color, and the LGBTQ plus community, which they call that out in a super simple way, which is going to be great for connecting with the customer. This is how you nail your welcome email number 1. Now you can build these emails right inside of Klaviyo or whatever platform you have, or you can design them on a design tool such as Figma, which I recommend. And then once you design it, then you slice the email into image sections and upload those into Klaviyo. If you want to know how to do that, I have other videos on my channel breaking down email design and how to create your emails. So that is our welcome email number 1. Now let's talk about our filler emails, aka our educational emails. So what are they? The filler emails are 1 to 5 educational emails sent between your welcome and then your last chance emails, because people need education and more than a couple of reminders to buy. We want to stay top of mind as they may be checking out competitors over the next week or two. So we want to include these because we want to build trust. Most customers aren't buying immediately. These emails will bridge the gap. We need to overcome objections, answer the unspoken questions that might stop people from converting. We want to position our brand differently and show what makes us different, how our product works, and why it might be worth the price. And then even if somebody doesn't buy right now, we want to prime our future purchases by laying all the groundwork so that they trust our brand. And then maybe when Black Friday or Cyber Monday comes around, they already trust us and then they're more likely to buy. That's why we want our filler emails. So we have a ton of examples. I'm going to go through a few of my favorites, but these are like some examples. We can do things like one benefit feature. So pick one benefit about your product and just make a whole email talking about that one thing, rather than overwhelming with a ton of different benefits. We have one feature, very similar. We have the FAQ, so just answer a quick FAQ from the customer. You can also do multiple FAQs if you want. You can do what's inside if you have some sort of like welcome pack, or if your product that has ingredients, create an email like what's inside our product. Why do we include these ingredients or pieces? How it's made. If you have a cool process or behind the scenes process with how your products are made, do that. How to use your product. That could be an objection where people are like, I don't think I'm going to be able to use this product. That could be helpful. You can also include a back in stock email, which actually works really well. Trending, testimonials for social proof, us versus them, how you compare to competitors, myths versus facts, a little bit of education, research studies, before versus after of customers using your products, notes from the founder. all sorts of different stuff that you can use here. Again, it's going to be different for every brand. All of these work. Just trust your judgment on what you think is the most effective. To go into a couple of kind of like my favorites that I like to include in welcome flows, one of them is the Our Story email, which typically I'll follow up after the first email with an Our Story email. We want to build trust by making the brand feel human. People want to buy from people. They don't want to buy from faceless corporations. Introduce the founder, the brand's origin story, and a deeper mission behind what you do that people can rally behind. After that first initial email and after somebody might have clicked on an ad, mostly they haven't bought because they don't know really like if you're real and if they stand with you. So we want to combat that with why behind the brand, put a face to the name, and remind them of this discount. As far as the email template, we want to have a hero section with a founder photo and some sort of a warm quote or intro headline. Bridge section, have like the founding story or brand mission of some sort. Always remind of the discount in one of your CTAs. And then product section, you can have some subtle category links, but really we don't want to be too pushy with this email. We just want to give them the story and a lot of people will naturally buy. Something like bestsellers or founders picks is something that works well. So we can see a couple of great examples here. If we look at this one right here, I know this is kind of hard to see, but this is a brand, a legacy built from the ground up. We can see the different founders right here, and then the story behind it, and then some images from back in the day of like what the warehouse was like and all sorts of cool stuff. Really heartfelt. It gets you to trust the brand and really want to support them. And then there's a cool section on why choose us, which helps the customer kind of like see things clearly. And then of course, reminding of the discount, and then there's shop by category buttons in the footer. And then also a call out on the discount code up at the top. Here's another example right here, which looks like an email or some sort of letter to the customers, which is a super cool take on this email. Hi, I'm Tara Roberts, founder. Of course, put an image right here so that we can put a face to the name, and then a story outlining the struggle. She struggled with hair and how it was thinning. So she created these products that do this. Sign from the customer, and then again, outlining everything right here, and then outlining the free offer for acquisition. And then right here, the story behind us as well, founder image, branded summary right here, and then remind of the discount. These are perfect. That's the Our Story email. Next, I want to talk about the frequently asked question or frequently asked questions. These are going to help. Most customers aren't going to email you and ask questions. It's just too much work. So we need to address these objections up front. So answering frequently asked questions directly address these, builds our trust, and creates a clear path for the customer to purchase. It also shows you're a transparent brand who also knows what the customer is caring about. So as an email template, hero section that answers the FAQ itself. For the hero question, just saying the FAQ itself and saying it directly. We just want to have a bridge section explaining it, then a product section tying in your brand and how your product addresses that FAQ. We can see right here, we have a text-based email, which I am totally fine. Any of these emails, do a text-based email. These just absolutely crush it. So we can see how simple this text-based email is. It's not too long. And you can see right off the bat, the most common question I get is, what does Breeze taste like? Just quickly answer the question, remind of the discount code, make it personal from Corbin from Breeze, and that's perfect. Here we have a graphic one of, is safe teeth whitening possible? Answering the question right here, and then having some further education all throughout this email, and then tying in our product at the end and how we overcome this objection, which is perfect. The only thing that's missing here, and also with this one, is the welcome discount. These are actually campaigns that were sent to the email list, but these could easily be adapted to put in the welcome flow just by putting the welcome discount. This is one right here where it's your guide to enjoying happiest hour, and we have a couple of FAQs down here, which is perfect and summarizes everything super clearly for the customer. So this one's a little bit different. This one is going to be the most stereotypical FAQ sort of email that you can do. This is going to be the text-based like little founder touch. Highly recommend you test these out. So moving on to the next one is a how it works. This is going to be purely educational, especially if your product is a little bit more complicated. One of these is going to be completely necessary for your welcome flow. So we just want to educate on how our product works. We want to reduce confusion, build our trust, and make them feel confident taking the next step. So just lay it out in plain English and visually show the ease of use of your product or the transformation. So for the hero section, ask the question, how does it really work? Or you can do a how to, and then just bridge section, explain it in a few short sentences, and a product section, tie in your brand. So we can see for this skincare brand, they start off with a transformation from a customer, which is great. And then they answer the how does it work in the bridge section, which is completely fine as well. The customer can see exactly how it works, and then they can trust the science. And also something cool is showing different testimonials right here. And of course, reminding of the discount. Here's another one for leggings. And there's a step-by-step how to right here. So the customer can see exactly how it works and kind of the magic behind it. And then here's just straight up addressing the question, how does this work again? Have some infographics of where our product fits in, and then tie in our product right here, add some social proof, boom, you have a perfect how it works email. Another one I want to talk about is what's inside, and this is going to be perfect for CPG brands, skincare brands, supplement, or bundle-based brands. Show your audience exactly what they're getting. Ingredients, materials, or items in the bundle, Just have transparency and people are going to trust you more. So as a template, if you don't know where to start, have a headline saying what's exactly inside. Bridge section, just explain exactly why it matters. And then product section, of course, tie in your product. So we can see right here, this is a product which is a THC infused social tonic. And so they start off the hero section just talking about the benefit. And then in the bridge section, they're answering what's inside. So they put exactly what's inside, what are the different ingredients, and how does it work. And then we have athletic greens right here, where they do the same thing, where they're showing exactly what's in our products in a cool info product. We provide the essential nutrients, and this is what's in our products compared to like other products. Perfect right here. And then this for a chocolate bar brand, 3 ingredients, pure bliss. So just break down the only 3 ingredients that are in our product, breaking down every single ingredient, everything that's inside our product. Perfect. What's inside? And then we always want to mix in some social proof. You should always have at least one social proof filler email inside your welcome flow. We need to reinforce trust by showing the proof from real customers or celebrities, pretty much just to show that we're legit. This is gonna validate a lot of our claims and push subscribers closer to their conversion. Don't get too carried away. I'm not a fan of doing this many reviews because a lot of times that can overwhelm the customer and they don't read any of the reviews. Typically, I like to do only like 1 to 2 to maybe 3 testimonials in a full email. And then just be straight up with like, hey, here are the testimonials. So you can see right here, this is more of a celebrity testimonial email. The hero section is just focused on how we're different. And then we can see the real stories right here. We have Cristiano Ronaldo, another health influencer right here, as well as right here. And then more social proof down at the bottom talking about like the proof that our products work. This is like the simplest sort of testimonial email that you can do. Put a testimonial up at the top with a button, and then feature a couple other testimonials, and then have a call to action. And then right here, this is one where we're just flashing a ton of different testimonials at the customer, and then give them a simple product section right down here at the bottom. Make sure you take time actually finding your testimonials. They need to overcome objections within them. Take time to find your good testimonials because they're gonna do the selling for you. Next, we have sort of like a how we're different email or how we're separate from our competitors or like us versus them. We wanna set our brand apart by clearly stating how we're different because the elephant in the room is your customers are comparing you to all sorts of other brands in your competitors. So we just want to lay things out clearly for them so that they can make their pick. Just have a hero section with what makes us different, maybe summarize it really quick and have a button. Explain your core differentiators, whether that's your materials, your values, your results, your process, or customer experience, and then have a simple product section as well. So this one is why does Ice Cartel shine harder than other jewelry brands? And just giving 3 reasons right here. Super clean and simple. Reminded the welcome discount. We don't want to give 10 different reasons because that's going to overwhelm the customer. Just pick a few of the main differentiators. This is like a clean us versus them, just quick check marks right here. So it's easy for customers to see like, why would you go with our meal delivery versus others? And then some quick social proof and reminded the discount. And then another one right here, how we're different, just a quick summary up here at the top with a punchy headline. And then it outlines how these products are different than like other carriers in an us versus them section, very similar to the one right here. These are super effective for showing how you compare. And then if you have a lot of products or the customer might be overwhelmed with what to pick, a bestseller email may be a good choice. It's good be single product or could be multiple products, but the purpose is to just make it as simple as possible for the customer to make their choice so that they don't have decision fatigue. You could start off with like our best sellers, or you could say directly like, hey, if you can't decide, start here. A lot of people when they're first coming to our brand, they get overwhelmed, they don't know what to get. So we always recommend that you get this first. It is the fan favorite, yada, yada, yada. Just make it super easy for them. Bridge it, explaining why this product is so good, and then just feature the product. So here's like a single product feature right here. So say this was your bestseller for supplement brand, then include an email like this, just breaking down that one product. What makes it different and a little bit of social proof, perfect. And then right here for a brand like this, what products do our customers love? Feature the 2 best sellers, exactly why people like it, and you've helped make that choice for the customer. And then we have this one right here for like a clothing brand, where if you have a lot of different products, then you probably want to show a few different products. And then you can link people to the bestseller section. So right here, just posting the testimonials of these different products, and then bestseller button at the bottom so that person can buy the bestsellers, and you're all set. And so those are the filler emails. You can use any one of those or in the big list that I showed you up above earlier in the deck. But now let's talk about the last chance email. This is going to be how we get people to buy on the spot with a ton of urgency. So for this email, so by the end of the flow, you should have trust built up with all the education that you sent, and people just kind of need a nudge to buy. So what we need to do is we need to drive urgency before that discount expires or product sells out. It's your final push to convert these customers who are on the fence. Look at these examples. We don't want to overwhelm or do all this crazy stuff. We want the email to just be focused on the urgency. You really don't need a bridge section. Just have a hero section with last chance to use your discount, and then a product section, tie into your brand, list out some products maybe, and you're all good to go. So we can see right here, you can see all the buttons are in the hero sections of these email, so the customer doesn't need to scroll. You can see right here, there's going to be a countdown timer for this brand right here. This is it, your last warning. So urgency before it's buried for eternity. Then feature some products, a little bit more urgency, boom. Then this brand, just super duper simple. Last chance for 10% off. Buy now. I love this, and a lot of times these convert the best. And then we have another, this is going to be a countdown right here, just reminding of the discount. Literally no supporting copy, just that. That's perfect. And if you want to go with a text-based approach, this works really, really well. Hey Max, June here. Quick reminder, your welcome discount expires tonight. Remind of the brand story, make the discount code super clear, and then shop now. Perfect. So that's that last chance email that we want to make sure that we do. And I always like to end off as well with a text-based support email. So something that's going to bring them a little bit closer to the brand and trust us, and get them to reach out if there is a big concern. So we're combining the customer support tone with urgency to drive action. We don't want to make it seem too pushy. We want it to be like we're genuinely helping them out and we don't need their sale. Just a friendly nudge, not a sales push. So be sure to offer support and mention your support team. All you want to do is remind of the brand and its mission, mention the discount code and that it's still active for use, and then include a blurb about the support team. So this is a great example right here. Hey there, I hope my previous emails have given you a taste of Pedal Commander's commitment to quality. We've got your back and stand by that with a 30-day complete money-back guarantee if you aren't satisfied with your order. So you can see right there, that's also reducing risk for the customer. And then mentioning subtly, hey, I noticed you haven't placed your order yet. No worries if you've been busy, I get it. In case it was a mistake, I extended your discount code just for you for the next 24 hours. So we have a lot of urgency just built in with that, but we're not being like, buy our stuff, last chance. Super subtle, remind of the discount code again, and then boom, shop now. And then also PS, if you have any questions, our support team is always ready to assist you. Just reply to this email and we'll respond ASAP. Make sure you're pushing those people to that. This is the sort of stuff that you aren't gonna get learning from other people. This is stuff that I've tested that just works super, super well. So that is the full strategy that you need to do. Now I wanna talk about some A/B tests and optimization, because this is really what's gonna make the difference in the long run, because nothing is perfect on the first go, which is why you always need to be testing. So these are some high leverage A/B tests that I really recommend that you run for the welcome flow. You could test a million and one different things, but I suggest starting with these ones. First is going to be the biggest impact, which is going to be the welcome offer. For example, doing $10 off versus 10% off. A lot of times a different offer can be the difference in literally double the revenue. So we want to test that. Easiest, just because it's high leverage, it's super simple to change, but it can have a big impact on your results, are your subject lines and your preview texts. Next is your time delays in between emails. Maybe you need to be less pushy. So you can do 1 day versus 2 days. You can also do what products are featured in emails. So featuring different best sellers in your emails. What are the ones that customers are buying typically first? You can test that out. Doing those text-based emails that I showed you versus like doing more graphic-based emails, you can test different variations of those. And then also something else that not a lot of people test is linking to specific products or linking to collections. So in your product sections, actually linking to a direct product, like this product right here is our bestseller, buy this. Here's another bestseller, buy this one. Or you could do categories like shop hoodies, shop t-shirts, shop socks, and link people to categories. Some people like to browse a little bit more with that, and other people like to be given the best sellers in the individual products just straight up. But the easiest way to optimize your welcome flow over time is by adding successful campaigns into your welcome flow and then just adding your discount code. So you should be sending 3 to 4 email campaigns per week to your e-commerce list. These campaigns should be mostly non-promotional. We don't just want to be spamming discounts. So we want to be testing out different educational angles in our campaigns and then monitor our results. If we have a campaign that absolutely crushes it, say we're a supplement brand and we do a frequently asked question email of how long does it take to see results with this product, and it absolutely crushes, gets a ton of revenue and a ton of engagement, then we know that that email is validated and it's probably very helpful for people. So what we could do is just add the discount code within that email and plug it into our welcome flow. That's literally it. Just add that sentence of copy. You can add that to your flow, or you can like replace the lowest performing email in that welcome flow. So this is my favorite, and it avoids a lot of the A/B tests and having to monitor results that comes when actually doing the A/B tests. Should do a little bit of both though. So that is it for this one. Thank you so much for reading, watching. Feel free to email me if you have any questions. I put links in my socials within this doc, which you can get in the description. If you want more help building all of this out, if you're a 7 to 9 figure e-commerce brand, then my team will build you the most badass welcome series possible that gets the most out of your ad traffic to turn into revenue. The link to book a call will also be in the description. Make sure to check out this video on pop-up so that you can grow your list and get as many people as possible into your welcome flow, because that is going to be the difference between a losing welcome flow and a winning welcome flow. Again, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you got some value, and I will see you in the next one.